Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right. Oh my God. Today I just wanted to give you a quick update on pretty much my tactics for summertime fishing. All right, let's do this. All right, so what I'm doing right now is it's the day before Saturday, which is Friday, and I'm just getting all my stuff ready to go out fishing Saturday morning like I normally do. I work that standard job, you know, all week long. I usually get the weekends off, sometimes I don't. Oh well, that's not here, there, or there. Yeah, I get all my stuff ready on Friday, so that way I can fish majority of the day on Saturday. That's my typical routine. I like to use what happened last week when I go fishing to pretty much carry over into this week. Use what worked, don't use what didn't work, unless the conditions changed up like crazy. But for the most part, the weather has started to finally stable out here in Southwest Louisiana. So the bend should be looking pretty consistent over the past few weeks, as it has been since the rain and the flooding has calmed down. So I just wanted to go over the different tactics that I am gonna be using for these early summer bass. Summertime gets hot, especially in my area. You can see in the summertime mid-high 90s, something like that during the average day. So what do I like to do to combat that? I like to get out in the water early. And when I say early, I mean early, like 3 a.m. early. Normally pretty dark outside unless it's, you know, a full moon up above. You're gonna go out and try to catch fish anyways, no matter what you can do, because obviously you probably work a normal job like I do. And you have to fish pretty much when you can. Being that I'm gonna get out in the water super early in the morning, around 3 a.m., it's still gonna be dark outside. So one of my favorite baits to go ahead and throw when it's still dark outside, the crankbait. All right, let's talk about this crankbait a little bit. All right, so on this rod, I got myself a nice deep diving crankbait. I got this out of a mystery tackle box if anybody wants to know, and it's called the Hardcore Crank. Anyways, yes, it is a chartreuse bluish color, got the little orange on the bottom. For some reason, I seem to have really good luck with this early on in the mornings. I have tried white before, hasn't really worked. I tried natural, like a shad type color, because shad are pretty much the bait fish that are inside of my lake. Haven't had that great of luck on that early morning either. So when it's still dark outside, I like to throw this chartreuse, bluish, whatever color you want to call it, crankbait, deep diving, get down close towards the bottom. One way I like to use this, I do have my fish finder on my kayak, so I can pretty much see what the heck is going on down in the bottom. But if I don't know what something is, then I like to throw this sucker anyways and see what I pull up. If I start pulling up weeds, cool. If I start banging and stuff, I know it's some type of brush. I like to also use this as a type of search or, yeah, search bait. There you go. Once the morning bite starts to come up and the sun's starting to rise up, I'll switch over then to a more shad type deal. For the morning specifically, this one is a 15-foot diver. It's the KVD Sexy Shad color. I like to use this pretty much the same way as I did the other bait, except I just change up the color to something a little bit more natural. It looks more like the bait fish that they're gonna be eating off of, since we got some visibility now. As the day goes on and it starts getting hotter outside, what I like to do then is I'll switch back to another more crazy color, go back to that deep diving crankbait, so that way I can dig down to the bottom, go to where the holes are, go where the humps are, where I know they're sitting around 20 to 15 feet or so of water, trying to stay cool in that hot summer sun. So I'll go back to that more brightly colored crankbait at that point in time. Color of that crankbait is all gonna vary on what type of lake you're fishing on. Next bait I like to use, the square bill crank. And as you can see, I'm following the same type of pattern that I did with the other crankbait. The only difference is I'm throwing this one shallow and I'm throwing it around cover. I follow the same color scheme as I did with the other one. I go with this chartreuse type color in the morning where it's still dark outside. Once the light starts to peak up, then I switch to a more natural shad type color, match your hatch. Other bait I like to throw. This one is not the best for the dark, but I have had some luck on it, so I do use it when I come up on some type of school, and that is the good old Fluke. Once it's dark, I don't have the best of luck on it, but I still have caught fish in the hours of darkness using this Fluke. And the color scheme wise, I do the exact same thing. I use this in the morning, and then I switch to a more natural Fluke color towards the lighter hours. Something like this, because this is more of a shaddish color, obviously. Different lakes call for different situations. Another bait I like to go with, the spinner bait. Everybody loves a spinner because they just flat out catch fish. You can go on and on and on and on and on. Debates all day whether you throw a double willow, a double Colorado at nighttime. You go the Colorado willow blade style like I got on here. Honestly, it matters, but I do the double and I seem to be fine. I'll catch them at night on it and I'll catch them at the day on this exact same rig. Once again, match your hatch with what you're doing, all right? Next bait I like to roll with, the whopper plopper. Once again, match your hatch when it comes to the color of this whopper plopper. I typically throw this right when the sun starts to peek out. That's when I had the best luck on it. Nighttime, man, I'll get some blow ups, but at the same time I'll also get some misses on it as well. That's why I like to wait until the light's just peeking up and I throw that sucker and blah. Well, you could watch my last video if you really want to see what the whopper plopper is all about. All right, next bait I like to use in the summertime, the spook. And these spooks are pretty freaking awesome in my opinion. They sit, they walk on the water, and it's great. And I typically throw this right when the sun's coming up. You get a lot of strikes on this, especially once you get that nice walking action going on it. And this is also interchangeable with a frog. I'll throw a frog or the whopper plopper, just depends on the lake that I'm fishing. Next bait I like to throw, I hope you're noticing a nice little trend here. I do carry a lot of rods with me when I am out in the water, because I'm one of those freaks that likes to bring half a Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, or whatever your favorite local tackle store is on my kayak with me. But anyways, the next one I like to throw, the Tokyo rig. Yeah, this guy, this weird monstrosity right here that's starting to make some waves in the fishing community. The Tokyo rig is one that I'm newer to, but I have had some luck on it in the past, and that's why I like to use it during these deep summer times. And one, this bait is such a multi-use type bait, and it could be used in a whole bunch of different situations. You can use it as a punching rig, you can use it as a finesse rig. In the summertime, I like to use this once the day is hit and it starts to heating up and the fish are sitting way down there below on the bottom, and I like to throw this over there and make this sucker dance all over the water. And that's what's good about the Tokyo rig instead of a normal Texas rig with a weight sitting up front. You can keep this thing suspended in the water by that weight, and you just sit there and make it dance all nice and crazy and get that little jingle right there, and you're bouncing along and a fish comes up, BAM! Smashes it. It's so much fun, I promise you. Throw a Tokyo rig on in the summertime, throw it on a hump, throw it deep, get it down there about 18-20 feet, and you're gonna get some smashes by some big old bass. And the last bait I like to use, your typical jig. All right, and you can throw whatever the heck kind of jig you want. This one is specifically more of like a grass punching type jig. It's got a very heavy 1 ounce weight on it. I also like to use this multiple different ways. That's why I use this 1 ounce jig weight right here. I will throw this underneath trees when it's hot outside because I know the fish are sitting there, or I'll go deep with it and throw it deep down and kind of drag it along the bottom and see if anything picks it up. Pretty simple. And that is pretty much what I like to do. Louisiana thunderstorms, baby. They're always happening randomly. Anyways, that is what I like to throw in the summertime when it's early summer and those fish are starting to feed up on the shad. They're starting to get strong again from all that spawning they just did. They want to get their weight back. They want to get their girth back. That's when I typically throw that kind of stuff. And usually a lot of that work when you get into the midsummer and late summer. It's kind of a constant. I do change things up a little bit just depending on the situation, the bait fish, the weather, whatever. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's helpful for you. Try some of these tricks out. If you have any questions, please just write a comment. I respond to almost every single comment. Hope you all have a great one. Don't forget, if this was helpful for you, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Y'all have a great one. Artillery Fishing, out.